Hey, how's it going out there in the interwebs world? These lovely gentlemen here will keep you company.
Who's he talking to?
Right? It
Anybody
must be
and
Dr. Bob.
everyone who would listen.
No, I mean, calling us gentlemen.
Oh, buttering us up for a good review.
Yeah, waste of time.
Oh, I got sidetracked. This shirt came from the Aussies and their soccer team.
Yeah, take Aussies to work out a thing where you get money from thingo. They call it, what do they call it now? Uh, Points, something points, like frequent flyer points and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Like just about every supermarket out here and every department store now has them. So the more you spend, the more points you get. But if you don't spend anything, you don't have to worry. It's like my wife, she comes home and says, "Oh, I saved $50 today." I said,
Hello.
"Yeah, what'd you get?" And she says, "This, and this." And I said, "No, more yet, Jay. Down on the wings. Don't concentrate on the point. Take the wings back a bit."
All right, it got too
Um,
much point on it. That's why I've knocked it off.
and anyhow, I said, "Yeah, but if you didn't buy it, you'd have saved more." That reasoning doesn't work with women.
no.
You're going to sleep there, Blair. Ah, hello, Tammy.
Hello.
She
You
just got
better,
home from,
you better looking than he is.
by a long shot.
Thank
Oh,
you.
definitely.
You know
So
who the
with that,
master is?
gentlemen, I am going to go to dinner with my son. It's his 20th birthday, and so
All right, adios, amigo.
All
buenos
right, thanks for
noches.
coming in, Blair. Have fun.
See you guys.
No. You're sharpening it wrong, Jay. You're just putting a point on it rather than getting a nice. You've got to bring the sides back, but maintain the round sort of nose on it. Just a narrow nose, about 3 millimeters wide.
Yeah, it's tricky with this thing.
Mumble, mumble, mumble. I've been sorting out tools, Bob. I've got
Yeah,
too many tools, believe it or not.
I didn't think there was such a thing.
Oh no, I have my favourites, and the others just sort of. My problem is that over the last 35, 40 years, I've accumulated a lot. I used to have a shop, and I wouldn't sell anything I didn't try myself. Yeah, now start bringing the wing back a little bit further, just out on the side of the flute. Um, and I've bought a few workshops, complete workshops over the years as well, and accumulated just a lot of tools that I don't even bother using. So
Yeah, I can
t-
understand that.
time to sort them out and keep the ones I want and start getting rid of the ones I don't. Otherwise, my kids will have to do it for me when I go.
Well, the trick is like I try to do, find up and coming young people who are just starting out and then try to outfit them.
Yeah, well, that's basically what I'm doing. Jay doesn't know it at the moment, but he's going to get a care package soon.
A 40-foot lathe to go in his mini shed.
He'd have to move out of the house.
Well, put it in the living room, make it stick through the bedroom and out the back and end up in the shed.
Yeah, well, I must admit, when I started in a 3 metre by 3 metre or 10 by 10 shed. Bit more yet, Jay. Just down on the sides. I had to turn veranda posts on a fine day because the headstock was outside. I'm a veranda post lathe anyway. Got another one that I used to bolt on the other end of the big lathe inside the shed. So
Well, I bought a few lathes. The first couple that I had were minis that I could travel with. That's what I took to Alaska. And
I didn't.
that because I had to pay for by weight.
Yeah, well, minis weren't even in. I actually made a mini lathe to transport around with me because there were no minis or middies in those days. Turn around sideways, Jay.
It was a jet.
Oh yeah, no, just rotate it slowly, Jay. Give me a look. Yeah, no, you're still not bringing him back. Wait on, I'll go and get a chisel and show you what I mean. Right, where are you, Jay?
I did a bit more.
Yeah, now you're starting to get there. There you are. See the.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So just take it off down along here, not up here. Just down here.
Yep. Yeah.
Now I thought I'd see Mark pop up tonight.
Yeah, hard to say. He might be getting some sleep at last.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I was watching a video online this morning, and it had the key demonstrator. Might have saw it, but it was part of our Tuesday meeting that I couldn't get to. But he was demonstrating, and for Chestnut.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it was really interesting because during the demonstration, he found time to chat with people, and he brought up our club, that how he's been invited to the Detroit Turners. And he was talking about his friends that he's made in Australia. So he was talking about us.
Ah,
And Mark was part of the group in the background somewhere, and there was a comment there that came in. And then I got a ton of chats and messages today from people who saw it. It's like, how do you know the president of the equivalent of our AAW on a first name basis? And I just said, well, I got invited to join. So, I joined.
yep.
And their web meeting, I really like it. It's on tomorrow here too. It's Tuesdays and Fridays. And I forget what tomorrow's meeting, the topic is. I should look it up. But it's known for having people from all over the world involved in order to have outlook to see the rest of the world, because we often just look at our own little geographic area. And
Oh,
how I and you and a couple others that I hadn't heard. Oh, what is his name out of Alaska? He's been at our club, and he's joined that too.
Turn it around. So that's better. Yeah.
Fingernail grind.
No, it's not a fingernail grind. A fingernail grind is the same shape as your thumbnail. But yeah, it's much easier for doing smaller coves with that than it is the thing. But if you put a point on it, you won't do a proper cove with it. All it wants to do is just dive in. You virtually have to trace it with the point rather than cutting it properly.
Yeah.
So see how that goes, Jay. Now the edge isn't going to last very long on it.
Yeah.
That's Cindy's favorite tool. But hers, she cuts down out of some good flanks that she buys. But that's the shape that she likes the most.
I didn't. You were saying before about up until really the internet, wood turning was a very parochial sort of thing. Like in America, for instance, probably one state didn't even know what the other states were doing until the AAW came along. And
but that's been quite a while ago.
Oh yeah, well that came in just after I started, I think, if I remember right. So it's a good 40 years ago now.
Yeah.
But with a long bevel on it, Jay, you have to be careful, all right?
Yeah, I might just start with the skew, I think.
But you're better off to use that one for hollowing out for what you're doing there anyway. But a lot of the techniques in wood turning, more modern techniques, have come from America, and the main reason is because they're so bloody lazy.
Or innovation guided.
Well,
they can make something better.
Yeah.
But you have to know a lot of the books that we had in early days for wood turning came from England and Ireland.
That's right. Well, they were the only ones virtually.
Yeah, so we started innovating like they were doing.
Right, now, Jay, get that gouge that you just ground up. Put it into the centre with the flute facing towards you. At about 45 degrees, and see if you can hollow it out with it now. So what you're doing is using the wing. No, get the handle right towards the back wall. So as you're cutting and just off the point, no,
No?
Jay, listen.
What?
The chisel should be about 45 degrees away from the chuck towards it, away from you, okay? Over there like that. That's it. Right, now you start in the centre and pull out with the flute facing you.
Yep.
No, get the handle around. Is it cutting it?
Yeah.
Good. Should be round further yet.
I'm just trying to get that point. That when the wind's right around like that, it doesn't get it. I don't want to be more like I'll stab through the side.
Now what happened there was you went over centre onto the wrong side of the centre line.
Yep.
Like it or not, we learn by our mistakes.
Oh, that's right. You should be working from the centre out towards the rim, not that way.
Yeah, I couldn't get that bit. That's why I did that.
You got a tit in the middle, have you?
Yeah.
Right, well come down the other way and just use the point. Put the flute towards the back side, away from you, and just gently work down with the tip. Just watch out you don't go past centre, that's all. Just work on the little titty bit.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah. You ordered your new bowl gouges from Graham yet or not?
No, on payday next week.
Oh, yeah.
Robo, how did you get the nickname?
My surname is Robertson, and in Australia, so everybody in Australia shortens everything. So while my dad was still alive and I was living at home, I was young Robbo. Because dad was Robbo, so I was young Robbo.
So you had the same first name.
No, same surname.
Oh,
It's Robertson. So
okay.
anybody with Robertson generally gets Robbie or Robbo in Australia. Oh, good day, Sid. How are you?
How you going, Sid?
So what would Jay be?
Well, Jay's real name is probably Jason, so
Yeah.
they shortened it to Jay.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, Elizabeth gets either Beth, Liz, or and redheads get Bluey. That's right. Any redheads always get called Bluey in Australia, generally.
Huh, not Lizzie? That's the nickname that...
Yeah, no, Lizzie as well. They get, or Lisbeth, funnily enough, without the E. But,
Or if you live in the suburb, you get called an Elizabethan.
yeah, no. But, no, Australia tends to shorten names down. Like my granddaughter is Isabella. Now she was named after her grandmother. My grandmother never ever used the name Isabella. She was always Belle. But you call my granddaughter Belle, and you have two very irate parents. No, her name is Isabella. Yeah, well, yeah, we know that, Sid. And it's funny, some nicknames stick with you your whole life. Nobody knows you as anything else. Like, it's only my wife and my mother generally and a couple of very close friends that call me by my Christian name.
I picked up the handle Dr. Bob because I like to be on a first name basis with people that I work with because I'm not superior. And everyone, if you're a supervisor or the head of a class or whatever, you're supposed to be. And they always wanted you, in universities where I would go, you had to use your title. So Dr. Bob worked well.
Yeah, well,
He handed it to me back in 79, 80.
well, I used to teach a lot of school kids, like at schools and things like that. I was a scout leader as well, and I detested the thing. I hated being called Mr. Robertson, so I said, no, you can call me Mr. Robbo, and it sort of stuck. Or Mr. R.
Yeah. Well, I ran mostly research labs where students were behind computers or benches where they were building interfaces for them or sitting in front of a terminal doing something online. We had in the lab I had at the University of Michigan, we had 4 classrooms side by side. And 2 of them, well, a pair of classrooms also had an interconnecting door with a central storage area between them. So you could actually walk between them, and that's where you kept supplies for your classes as needed.
Yep.
And,
Yeah, wait on. Sid's got a question for me by the sound of it. Yes, Sid. G'day, Yarpy.
How you going, Yappy?
Yeah, you're right. That's what my Christian name actually is, Sid. Ian. But Julie, my wife, was talking to a group of people one day at a wood turning thing. And everybody said, who are you talking about? And she said, oh, it's Robbo. Oh, Robbo, right, now we know who you're yakking about. Hey, Jay, see the comment above the question. Yeah, funny thing when your name is shorter than what you were called.
Huh?
Yeah, well, your full name's Jason, so everybody just calls you Jay. For a long time, I just had the initial R. Like a lot of people just used to say R. I knew who they were talking to. What are you up to, Yarpy? Just got out of bed? Yeah, I know. Yeah. But Julie and my mother can fit 3 syllables into that. That working all right, is it, Joe?
Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to give it a bit of a sharpen by now, but yeah, it's getting in there,
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'd imagine it is driving you nuts too, Yarpy. It's right in the wrong place. You can't sit down properly, you can't lie down properly, you can't do anything. Any clothes, any shirts or anything you put on probably irritate the hell out of you. I knew that, Sid, but I wasn't going to say what your real name was, Christopher.
Yeah, it's that's my middle name, so I won't forget it.
Well, a decent nickname is always better than Hey You.
Well, this is true. Like my kids actually, when they want my attention, they say, "Hey, Charlie," because Charles is my middle name. Once they got over 20, that was. They wouldn't dare do it when they were younger. Get that handle around a bit further, Jay. Away from you.
I'm trying to get that tit out.
Oh, rightio. Good afternoon, Steve. Steve Combs is in the chat.
How you going, Steve?
Steve, Podguider is actually Yapie. Japie.
But pronounce the J is pronounced with a Y.
Yeah. Oh, why break a habit, Sid? Sid said he'd better hit the thumbs up. Better hit the thumbs up, I suppose. Laugh out loud.
Whatever. Hit the thumbs down. I don't care.
No, I do that when I come in.
I just
I
turn
do
the
that when
screen. I just turn the screen around upside down and it's a thumbs up. So.
Yeah, but that doesn't get you more points.
No?
Now, you got to bore that right through, Jay, because you're not going to be able to cut it off otherwise, unless you do it by hand. You're nearly down to where the jaws of the chuck are, I think.
Yeah, good enough. I don't
Having
really
so
care.
much
I've
fun
got more
with
pieces of wood over there.
So you're now making a very thin, hollow vessel.
How do you know?
I don't know what you're doing.
having fun.
Could
You can tell by that snide laugh.
it could be a woggle for shoelaces, I suppose.
Hopefully he's got more wood in the chuck. I think he doesn't know what he's making either.
Yeah.
Oi,
He's got to
do you
try,
two,
you know.
do you two want to get kicked out?
Young people, you know, they get so excited of what they're doing when they're successful. They don't often think ahead.
God, go and watch some of the videos before Robbo started helping. Some of the bowls that I made, I got so excited that I'd made one part. I didn't even finish it. I didn't sand it or nothing. I just flick it over. It start mulling out the middle. It's like, whoops.
And you learned from that.
No, all scouts should know what a woggle is, Sid.
Yeah, that's right. Dib dib dop.
No, that's cubs. Oh, they're not called cubs anymore.
Why? What are they called these days?
I'm not sure, but I don't think it's cubs.
Was that too offensive to someone?
Oh, yeah.
We're there.
Huh?
The Bears.
There you go. I did it. Woohoo! I made a ring.
Yeah, hollow tube.
There you go. What's wrong with that? Perfect form. Look at that. Perfect.
It's one of those things that looks like it's pre-planned, but we know better.
See, it works good, doesn't it?
Well, at least it's fairly straight.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. All right.
See, he learns a new cut with a new tool.
Sorry.
You learned a new cut with a new tool.
Yeah, that's probably my first tool I ever got. To be honest, I just don't use it very often.
Well, now it sharpens to how you want it and need it.
It was a chisel.
Oh yeah, that was obvious from the metal ring on the handle. Keep you from splitting the wood when you're using a hammer on it.
And there's the other bit that I made. Look at that. Woo! What are we looking at? What are we surfing?
I'm searching out. They're called Cub Scouts now. They're not just called Cubs. From 8 to 10. Then at 10 you go up to Scouts.
Were you active in scouting?
Yes, yeah. I started as a Cub. I went right through Cubs, through Scouts. I was ready to go up to seniors, which was the next level up, and then up to Rovers. And I was about to go into Rovers, and they said, no, we want you as a troop leader if you wouldn't mind. I was a troop leader for the next 5 years. Then I gave it away for 40 odd years, and I became a scout leader for a number of years as well. And I'm partly responsible for getting girls into Scouts, mainly because in the town where I was, there was more girls than what there was boys, and they weren't interested in the Brownie things. They wanted to do what the Scouts were doing. So we started go on.
That was a positive move on Scouting International. They were way ahead of us here in North American Scouting at it by about 5 years.
Yeah, well, see, they weren't venturers then, Sid. They were the venturers came in when girls came in. So we had a mixed troop, boys and girls. The girls did exactly what the boys did, but they weren't recognised in our troop at all until it was ratified in about 30 years or so ago, I suppose. But our troop sort of started the trend. Much to the disgust of our district commissioner, who was a complete and utter arsehole. Oh yeah, it did actually, Steve. But funnily enough, after the initial excitement, they most of them settled down, and the girls were on one side and the boys were on the other. And in a lot of cases in our troop, the parents used to come along as well, so there was no hanky panky, I tell you. Yeah, that's about right, Sid. About 1982.
I started a search and rescue unit because I was into mountaineering and love climbing. It's something the military taught me. Because I had to go to school to take something while the unit that I was supposed to go in was being put together. So they said, "You like the outdoors? Yeah, here. You go here." And it was a mountain climbing army. And being the only Air Force person at the school, boy, did I ever get razzed. But I enjoyed it. I got really good at it. But we got a mountain search and rescue post going because we had a lot of kids that were dropping out because there was no challenge. They'd done all the not bit. They had been riding horseback. They've done their hunting and their fishing, camping in the forest. But they wanted something more exciting. So we did Mountain Search and Rescue, and we worked with Mountain Search and Rescue out of Geneva, Switzerland, and followed their guidebooks and handbooks.
Yeah.
Lou Whitaker, who was the first American to climb Everest, was one of our sponsors. And that was fun. Then Boy Scouts said we couldn't belong because it was too dangerous. About 8 years later, they were opening up climbing and on mountains and stuff. So they had their own outdoor camps. But that time, it was just well beyond it. The kids that we had in Mountain Search and Rescue Unit in Alaska, these were kids that carried big guns when they went to school because of bear
Yeah.
and moose. And they were used to having a big gun. And Boys Life magazine came to take pictures on a search and rescue unit program where we put out a dummy and you had to find them. Photographer got pictures, except that we had this slight problem in the middle of our drill. There was a person lost, and we had a radio call. Could we shift it about 10 miles and put our search patterns out? And then the kids started pulling the big guns out of their cars and vans. And the photographer went crazy over that and took a bunch of pictures. And that ended scouting for all of us. Because scouts don't carry guns that'll take down a grizzly.
No, dead right.
The kids lived with them. They were brought up using them. You know, they live in Alaska. They're used to, if they're in the country, having a bear go through their trash. If we couldn't convince Boy Scouts in headquarters that was all right.
Yeah, we had the same thing out here at Yarpy about cadets. I was in the school cadet unit as well.
Yeah, Boy Scouts had one. It was Civil Air Patrol, and they learned to fly.
Yeah, oh, they were called Air Scouts.
But the Civil Air Patrol actually started in the end of World War II.
Don't take it down too thin, Jay, or you'll be buggered. Just get it down to round. Yeah, that's all right. Don't worry about that.
What?
Well, get your square end down to round as well up near the drive spur.
Hey, Robo, I've been curious, but ask you, is there any interaction between New Zealand and you as far as wood turning and programs like that? Or is it just way too far away?
No, not really. Yes and no. I'll explain that in a minute. Now, Jay, come back an inch. Get your parting tool. Don't take that down to round. Don't take down any more than that. Come back an inch. Put your parting tool in. Put your slot in. And take that. take that end down to 3/4 of an inch. You don't need to make the groove that wide. The groove should only be about 1/4 of an inch wide.
There you are.
Because I've not seen any YouTube stuff of wood turning from there.
From New Zealand.
Yeah.
No, there's quite a few. There's Terry and Terry Scott. I know quite a lot of them. There is. Does that going to fit inside the chuck as a Joe or not? Do you know?
Have a look.
Right. But they do have, every now and again they have a collaboration. Every year they used to have a collaboration get together between New Zealand turners and Australian turners. But it was by invitation only.
Is that because one side's more of a snob than the other?
No. It's just they don't have the facilities to cater for a large number of people, that's all.
Oh.
Now, Dre, is that tightening up on the slides behind the jaws or on the jaws themselves?
On the bit that I made a bit smaller.
Right.
I would assume.
Yeah, well, it became politically incorrect for kids to be carrying around weapons. In our case, Joe, I think they stopped in about the early 1970s or towards the late end of the 1970s as far as school cadets were going.
Who are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
Jarpy.
Oh, I thought you said Jay.
No.
Rewind. Go back.
Now, is that going to rotate straight? Yep, good enough.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
No, well, we're only allowed to use unloaded rifles at school during school hours. We're never allowed to take them home or anything like that. But we used to have an annual camp for a fortnight at our army bases and do military training.
Is that going to be too game? That's going to be too wobbly, isn't it?
Sorry?
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. I was going to... it's too wobbly to do a vase on that bit there. I'll just make some out of that. And...
Well, why don't you make a snowman at that end until it gets down a little bit cooler?
Yep.
All right, just go and put the kettle on, Joe.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm awake. I just had some rough days this week. Like having to get up so early in the morning.
Sorry, what was that, Dr. Bob?
Oh, a comment about me falling asleep on you.
That's all right.
Well, you're earlier today. I mean, sometimes it's hard for me to stay up 18 hours.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
That's the problem, being 76.
Yes. No, the untamed Aussies should learn to do times at your time, shouldn't they?
No. It's just you do what you do when you can, and if it's something you enjoy, you make the time. I learned a long time ago in the 70s, you don't make friends by the color of their skin, where they live, anything.
Yep.
Got stuck in Vietnam and you knew your friends. They were the ones that were not shooting at you. Many a time, and Robo can tell you the same thing, he was there at the same time. You could be in a village and all of a sudden people grab you and they don't even speak English, but they just keep waving at you to come, and then all of a sudden, they move a bunch of baskets and there's a big hole in the ground and you climb down inside, and then they cover it up and to hide you. And you've never seen them before. They just did it because they wanted to, that we were fighting for them. So
Yeah.
You don't ask.
Yes. I've got a bad habit of making snowmen with a neck.
How much snow do you get a year? Enough to
None.
make snowmen?
None.
So it's purely a fictional. You ever play in snow?
No, never seen it. Except on telly, obviously.
I remember when I went to tech school in Colorado back in 64 for the military, 65. We had a young man that had never seen snow in his life in our unit school that we were attending, classes. And
Yep.
a bunch of us rented a car. The first weekend we had leave, we stuck him in the car and drove up to the mountains, Pikes Peak, and took him all the way up to the top of it where there was snow, and he just laid down in it and rolled in it, and we just thought he was crazy, so we threw snowballs at him, and he was doing back to us. He'd never seen snow, but he was having a ball. He was probably just 18. I don't think he was even 19 yet, but never seen snow. Always lived in where there wasn't snow to even see. Needless to say, he had a cold. We all
Yeah.
got yelled at because we should have known better. But we were 18 and 19. We just showed him a good time with snow for the first time. And then he had to make yellow snow to write his name in it because that's what he'd seen in some movie.
Yes.
G'day, Joe. Eva, at least, how are you?
How you going, Eva? How you going, Robbo? How are you?
I'm back again, yeah.
Yeah. Did you start that off with a burp?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask if it was Amber or Robbo. I don't know how I managed it, but I got a hat on top of the snowman. I didn't mean to, but there is anyway. And he's got a neck. He's got a neck.
Yeah, another one. You stuffed it
Yeah.
again.
Might be like that. My snowmen have necks.
Because when you roll them, it's two different balls of snow that you roll, and you sit the one on top of the other. There's no
That's
reason
right.
There's not a neck when one's sitting on top of the other. What are you
Oh,
going to put the scarf
blah, blah,
around? The scarf goes there too.
I'll get a
You've
stick
got it.
and I'll put it in the middle, all right? Now he's got a neck.
No, you've got to be anatomically correct, Joe.
Why does my body allow to be out of anatomic correctness?
No, they look like rugby players. Rugby players don't have necks either.
Yeah, look. Well, my snowman's got a scarf on, so I'll just do that. That fair enough?
No,
Well,
Didn't
it's
think
the
so.
art style that you're creating of your own. So no one can argue with the artist. Just the technique in making it.
that's a cop out, Bob.
No,
Don't listen to him, Bob.
everybody wants to put their 2 cents in stuff when I go and have people around the shop, and I listen to them all, and sometimes it makes sense. But when I'm there by myself or just with a couple of people I talk to online, I know what I'm making. Oh, I had a bowl I had mounted on a vacuum chuck today, working beautifully, sanding it out. It was 9.5 inches deep, and lost power, and the bowl went flying.
Oh,
It's always a worry.
It was only for just a fraction of a second that flickered enough to cause the vacuum pump to reset.
What's the new expression for women when they're drunk and going to the toilet? Eva, I'm interested. Yeah, well, that's quite true. Yarpies, most of them do try to be models instead of rugby players, but anyway. Well, just say it. Sid can take it out if it's wrong. Eva, don't worry. If he's still in here. I must admit I haven't heard that one before. You heard of that one, Jay? You're on mute still, Jay.
what?
What Eva put in there?
Why can't it be verbalized? That one.
Yeah, that one.
Need to go split the whiskers. All right. Pardon? Yeah, yeah. That's a bad one.
I know, but it's doing the same thing.
Just use that.
I thought it was nice and smooth. It was bloody yesterday. I was like, what? Give it to me. Give me. I'll put the tail up.
Amber came in when the microphone was turned on. Now everyone's saying hello to Amber.
That's right.
I don't feel like talking today, so hello.
What?
Holy hell.
That's some pretty rough sandpaper.
Whoa.
My fault.
Might have to mute the microphone, Jay.
Why's that?
Well, it sounds like you got a pneumatic hammer in there.
I won't tell anyone if you don't. What? Oh, because you did have it braced down, that's why.
What was it, Jay? A jigsaw?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, Robo, how many more days before your wife's retired? Any day now, isn't it?
10 days.
She got a big honeydew list for you?
No, she learned a long time ago not to do that.
Are you muted? Have I got more chopping to do?
No, I explained to her in about the first week of our marriage that if she ever wanted me to do anything, the worst thing she could do was nag me. She said, okay, well, how do I get you to do things that I want you to do? I said, it's easy. I said, you come up to me and you say, dear or darling, can you do X, Y, Z, please? Yes, dear. No worries. Now, when I haven't done it in a fortnight, you come back and you say, dear, have you done X, Y, Z yet? No, dear. Sorry. Forgot about it. I'll do it right now, and that's when I generally do it. She said, it goes into the unimportant part of your brain, doesn't it? And I said, yes, it does.
Stupid question. I hear it all the time. A fortnight. What?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Half a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably in English.
It's not a term here.
No, it's very common in England and Australia, fortnight.
Yeah, that's where I hear it. And
don't know where it actually came from, but I might have to look that up just to find out.
that's a nice back saw.
Oh, Jesus. All right, got to go and answer the phone.
Well, you can always call him on Microsoft Messenger. You don't have to worry about cost. It's always free. That's how when I need him, I can get him with video chat.
Stuff. After fighting design change 3 times. I said, I'm fine, I'm keeping it back. I'm keeping it quiet. And I get the picture and it's speaking to you to bloody lazy.
I don't know about you, but you can hear him coughing his guts up in the background.
What is it?
The Robbo coughing in the background.
Sounds more chirping.
It was a distinctive. Is that fresh air getting to you again, Robbo?
No, I just. No,
I could hear you coughing a lung up.
no, it's probably the door that you heard, not me.
I didn't hear you. Unless you were so loud, he heard you across the continent.
Yeah.
There, all right, we'll just stick with that one, okay? Is that cool? That's exactly what I heard. How you going, Louie?
What commercial was that, Eva? Sorry, I missed it there somewhere. Ha! Steve, I'd tell you what, I wish I was on student loans. I tell you, I'm too flaming old.
Pardon?
What's the worst at the
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
The Australian girl doing the ad for condoms, yeah, it never went on TV, I don't think.
no.
Not here.
We got no, didn't come out in Australia.
What's in the changing body?
No, I only made that this morning, Eva. Four and a half centimeters high. It's even too small for midgets. Oh no.
Why don't you say 45 millimeters, Joe? It's much easier.
Well, I did say that in my post, right? But obviously Eva didn't read that part. I'll show you, Eva. Look. It's massive.
Dollhouse furniture.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's too big. It's too big for that. If it was doll's house furniture, it'd be 480 millimeters. It'd be.
Oh yeah. It'll be the size I make it.
No. Doll's furniture is 1/12 scale.
So it's a bathroom sink.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or it's
that's about. Yeah.
They'll just get really drunk off of it.
Doesn't take you much.
There's a if it doesn't take much for you to get drunk, you get called a Cadbury over here. And then the advert for Cadbury chocolate over here is it's got a glass and a half of milk in it. So that's why you get called a Cadbury, because you can only handle a glass and a half. I'll try burning one on there.
Well, a Coke glass. Just depends how you spell Coke.
There you go. There you go.
You guys forgot to put the eyes and the nose. Now you got to turn a carrot nose.
I'll just
Use a toothpick.
butcher his arm. I'll take his arm.
You're cruel.
Do you pull the arms off Lego men too? Do you, Jay?
Yeah.
Swap the head plate.
Have a different coloured arm and a different coloured leg.
Did you know that Lego are the biggest tyre manufacturers in the world?
I didn't
I
know
heard
they
that.
didn't know they
On
made
our
full size
Discovery
arms.
Channel, I know that you have a Discovery Channel too for Australian broadcasting, but ours some years ago did a tour of the Lego factories, and there was 3 of them. And some of the stuff that they had in the lobbies that their employees had put together for competition was outstanding. And they said they had enough to go to the moon between all the factories. A bit of exaggeration because when you looked up, they had a moon also hanging.
Okay. It's a bit harder to write on than the other one, that's for sure.
I'll read it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
About 10 years ago, I met an
I'm on the
individual.
outside
I
too.
was
How's
thinking
that one?
that, but now I've got to get all of that.
I can't hear a word. I can't hear a word.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Get your own room then.
Right, now, sorry, Bob, what was going on?
Years ago, I met an individual that was a professional and got paid by Lego to make fancy big displays.
Yep.
And he was putting together a big Christmas display, and he had 2 step vans full of Lego kits to build this big display for Christmas. It was a mantle with Santa Claus coming down it, and all the reindeer on top. Took him a week and a half to build it.
Yeah.
And after Christmas, they broke it up into pieces, and it was donated to the local children's hospital for the kids to play with in their playrooms.
You reading up on dad jokes, are you, Sid? Don't call him anything because he can't get there anyhow. Oh, you haven't been watching Hey Hey It's Saturday, have you, Sid? The best and worst of red faces. G'day, Soren.
I've been watching. I've put Hey Hey It's Saturday on my wall yesterday from YouTube,
Yeah.
and I've been watching a lot of the Great Aussie Joke from Hey Hey It's Saturday, and what's the other one? Oh,
Best and worst of red faces.
yeah, and Aggro. Do you remember Aggro?
Yeah.
He's a dirty little puppet, and there's all the dirty segments are all mashed up together on YouTube, and it's quite amusing.
Yeah, I know. I'll tell you what, if that went on TV these days, you'd be shot.
Oh my god, it wouldn't even get through the first episode.
No.
It's so funny. You got to watch it. Everyone else out there listening.
Well, you got your father staying with you, Eva, or has he always been there? Yeah, I don't know whether I want to know either, actually.
What?
Yarpy's put up there, what do you get when you cross a woman with a dung beetle?
You said that before. And it wasn't very funny.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really wants to know the answer to that one, Jappy, to be honest. You've already said that one before.
Yeah, don't forget to get it round first, Jay, or you'll be right in trouble. Ah, no, I always thought you lived by yourself with your cats. Eva, that's why I asked. What does he think of you hanging out with all us silly wood turners?
Come on the mic, Eva. Get him on the mic. Come on. No one likes that idea?
All right, see you later, Yarpy.
See you, Yappy. Thanks for coming in.
Cups in the refrigerator, the freezer.
Sorry?
No, it's all right.
Oh.
Bob was talking to somebody in his domicile there.
Yeah, Brendan just got off gaming and wanted something to drink and waved a diet ginger ale bottle in the air. He's too bashful to talk or get on camera, but he does it all day long with school and friends.
Yeah.
Quite a difference than we were kids, Robo. Today they pick up their phone and push a few buttons and they're talking to friends all over the world, and they take it for granted.
Yep.
And now that we got the video capability on everything, he sits with his laptop open, running a video program for school, and then his phone, and then the computer.
Knocking off early today, Soren. Jeez. See you later. Good to see you.
Turn the kitchen light out. Don't forget that trash has to be out by 7 in the morning. Take that bag out, put a new one in.
You're off too, are you, Sid? Or you mean knock off early?
Excuse me. So what's your live going to be like? Your next one, Robo?
Making a table lamp.
I guess you got to practice after doing, what, 100 of them?
Yeah. Oh, well, I've got everything set up, so I figured I might as well make one. I just finished another batch of 10.
Yeah. I remember, Steve, when I was a kid, my parents went way out financially on the limb to buy an Encyclopedia Britannica set.
See you later, Eva.
See ya, Eva.
And that's what we considered all the knowledge. All the knowledge in 18 books.
have a set of Encyclopedia Britannicas. There was the 1960 edition. And it's rather interesting looking up some things in that you know aren't quite true anymore.
Yes. I don't know if mine was 59 or 60 because we had the set and then they had bought 2 years worth of the add-on books to bring it up to date.
Yeah, the yearbooks, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's about 8 or 10 of the yearbooks too. But Mum and Dad bought it, had to pay it off, of course. Bought it for us kids for school.
It wasn't cheap.
No,
They had to pay so much a week for it.
that's right. Yeah.
But the worst part was when you turn a report in, a lot of the teachers had them too. And
Yeah,
they
of
would
course.
say, well, I know where you got that from. You didn't cite it right. A whole new world of learning to cite everything. Footnotes and 4 pages of cite at the back of the report. That's back in the days where you had to prove what you were saying was true.
Yep. They're now sitting in our lounge room, actually. Mum didn't have any room for them in their new house, so I built the bookcase for it at Woodwork at school, so I inherited them all.
No, a long time ago when my parents passed away, they weren't worth anything. Nobody would take them. It was just worth their weight in paper. And rightfully so. I remember when they decided to get rid of them. It wasn't all online, but we had the encyclopedia on CD discs.
Yeah.
Because we moved over to that and we got those every year.
Well, just think about it. Like, we've got a 18-foot wall in our lounge room that is lined with bookcases and all full of books. When you consider that you could condense all of that onto this,
Oh,
it's, you know,
Pardon? Pardon? Yeah.
but geez, if I mention to my wife getting rid of the books, whoo, I know what would happen.
Problem is, I got a bunch and you can't get rid of them today because libraries just don't exist anymore to speak of. We got one in our city. They're not taking books because they can't get the money to expand the library to hold them.
That's right. Yep.
'Cause
Well, I think I read.
You can get them online.
I think I read once that knowledge as such is expanding at something like 4 times its rate every 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But by the same token, there's nothing. I would rather read a novel in a paperback or a book form than off a computer.
Well, I would agree at times, but it's so much easier for me to pick up my phone and I got a bunch of books on there or my tablet. I can read it or I can hit the button and have it play for me for a half hour and I'm sound asleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I should tell her that, Steve. I know what I'd be told.
Well,
She's coming downstairs to do a little
it wasn't that bad.
Pretty sure she's getting the watch and go,
Yeah.
oh. You see, we see.
Steve, you know, it's an interesting fact that today with the smart assistants, both the Amazon and the Google, you can sit and ask it and even cite what encyclopedia you want it from, the answer. And
Yeah.
you listen to part of it and you say, that's what I want. And then you tell it to print it out on your printer or download it so you can use it in a report. So you ask for it and it finds it.
No, I reckon the best speech ever written was Julius Caesar's when he conquered England. 3 words.
Don't know it.
Oh, Veni Vidi Vici.
Oh,
I came, I saw, I conquered.
turn around.
Says everything that he needed to know.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I think that's what I saw too, Steve, about the collective knowledge will double every 10 days by the year 2050. And then they'll find something else to carry on, so it'll probably get higher again. Admittedly, computers have helped a lot, helped in that.
And the AI that they have in the computer systems as an access to stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
like
I
must admit, I'm glad to see that they're digitizing a lot of the older books and things. Like, there's a lot of interesting old wood turning and mechanical repair type books that they're digitizing.
Yes. One thing that's happening is our Library of Congress, which is online and you can access it just like anybody in the world.
Yeah.
It's got like one of every book that's been printed since the library started and well before that. But they are digitizing a lot of the old books that they've got and then put them in an archive that's in a mountain somewhere that in total vacuum sealed,
Yeah.
just in case. But they're digitizing them, and you can get them online.
Yeah,
There's no
I know.
cost to it.
I know a lot of people that live in a vacuum. I'm convinced of it. They don't know anything.
Yeah, and then then they're president of a country.
I,
So you
I,
make up what they want.
I saw a good thing on Facebook the other day, actually. The owner's manual of a car 50 years ago explained to you how to adjust the valves in it. The owner's manual in today's cars warn people not to drink the battery acid.
Yeah. One of my cherished books I've got on the shelf is Owner's Manual for a Model A Ford. The first car that my father bought is when he was getting out of into the Navy for World War II.
Yeah, any color you like as long as it's black.
Yep. And complained that you could break your arm with cranking it.
Yeah.
It would kick back, and boy, had a broken arm at the elbow. Yeah, I got to pare down my books. I've read them and just put them back on a shelf and take them a box, a big bag next time I go to the Veterans Hospital. And they sanitize them and to ultraviolet, and they use them for patients that want to lay in bed and read.
Yeah.
I got a lot of mystery books. I enjoy mysteries.
I must admit I'm a prolific reader of like Agatha Christie and
Yes.
Alistair MacLean and all that sort of thing.
Sherlock Holmes is one I've got the complete compendium in one big volume, as it was written before they changed it to English.
Yeah.
But it's before it became English American. So it's interesting trying to read it the way that he wrote it.
Yeah. I must admit I like Australian poets too, like Banjo Patterson and Henry Lawson. I've got volumes of their works around. Some of them are collector's pieces now.
Yeah, I got one more hard drive to look at, but I've got the music from the Australian Olympics. I bought the LP record when I was there.
Yeah, see you later.
I transferred it over.
Sorry, Bob. Yeah, see you later, Steve. Good to see you in here again. Yeah, Facebook facts. That's a real oxymoron, that one, Sid.
I'm not having any more.
Yeah, now all you got to do, Jay, is get the head the right size and you'll be right. The head.
Yeah. I probably
snowman.
I take it. I think too much about it. I didn't think about doing this shape. I just decided to do 2 circles and then thought, I think I made a snowman.
2 beads.
I don't even like that.
Well, make another little ball and stick it on top with a little glue, but then you can have it a little off center, like he's got his head cocked.
Yes.
And have you knocked off for the day, Sid, or are you just working in the office for a change?
There you go.
Or you're sitting by the side of the road somewhere?
Hey, look, I made a costume for him. Look, see? He just pops out of it.
A modesty panel.
That's it. He sits in it quite nicely. See, I told you I made it for something. I just didn't know what.
that was an interesting job I had once, actually, like adding modesty panels to about 120 desks for an office that women worked in.
Why don't you just call them what you really think?
No, well, that's what they were called, modesty panels.
No.
All right. Time for the big finale.
Yeah, good. I don't feel like burning today.
Daredevil's going to do a jump. You ready? Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Doing a little bit of natural killing, are you, Sid?
Oh,
Not killing animals.
no killing of the animals.
No,
Run it over.
he's in the office today. Reports and weed plans would have been out. He would have been out and about if there was a little wind putting fungal spores on bridal creeper. So he's using a natural herbicide to kill them.
Is it natural? Or are you just saying that?
Yeah, I actually found that interesting when you did that video, Sid, on that. Good day, Joy. How are you?
Hello, Joy.
No, I reckon it's more like a bloody bear with hobnail boots on, the noise that was coming out of the shed. Biological control, that's what I'm looking for. Sid, you're dead right. It's an interesting subject, actually. Provided that you don't use cane toads to try and get rid of the pest.
Animal killer. I can't say much. I've seen some of the popular things. Yeah, this redwood's so bad to burn you.
Yeah.
There's a lot more lines, it's a lot more rickety than the wood pie that I get. It's an experience, that's for sure.
Has everyone fallen asleep at the same time?
Is that an Aboriginal community near you, is it, Sid?
Interesting. I'm watching it now. I shouldn't be watching your video.
No, that's all right. Go for it, Bob. I find it interesting, actually.
Yeah, well, I subscribed and put it on my list, so in the morning it'll pop up when I turn my terminal back on.
Oh yeah. What? So there's no actual settlement there. It's just a part of their land, is it?
Oh, that goes right through you, that noise.
Yeah. You want to be on the other end of the speaker.
I want to be on the other end of the tool.
And is that fairly close to Kingston, is it, Sid, or is it a fair way away? Sorry, I'm a little bit interested in that sort of culture. Oh yeah. No, I was very lucky. I spent 3 months in Arnhem Land in installing and freeing up water pumps up there and bores, and I actually got to be invited to a full-blown Aboriginal corroboree. One of the few white men to see an actual corroboree. 24 hours, geez, it was interesting. Jay's gone through the side. That lets the sap drip out, Jay.
This no
Like
man
a
had
rub-
blowout.
Like a rubber tree. That's because you didn't round it first, you see. Oh, I thought you'd gone, Soren. You sneaky little devil, you.
Just hiding in the background.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, you're forgiven then, sorry.
But he didn't share the beer.
No, cup of tea's my drink of choice. Now, CJ, if you take that off there, you've got a nice little button then. He's trying to prove a well-known fact that you can't make a inside bigger than the outside. There you go, Dr. Bob. He's pouring it down the line for you. Yeah, it's interesting that Sid, that everybody thinks that the Aboriginals have, all tribes have corroborees, and they don't.
Yeah, I'm a Whovian, but I just don't believe it. I just wish I had a TARDIS. But in a way, what's happened in the internet today is getting us there with the technology we have.
Yeah. Yes, sorry, I quite agree. We've all done it at some time. In fact, I did it the other day on one of the lamps. The hole wasn't straight down the centre of it, and it came out through the side. So, or let's say I exposed it when I put the detail into the lamp.
Well, it's never the turner's fault. It's the wood
Oh,
or
definitely.
the tool not being sharp enough.
Yes, we do have these issues occasionally, sir. I think the difference is that we don't let it nag at us. We just take it out, throw it away, and put the next one in.
Or you be creative. I had a plate I was working on and made a hole, got a hole in it in the bottom. So I decided to make another one, and my sister's a baker, so I made a post, turned a post that tied the two together, and the hole in the top one fit a tenon in the post. So now when she sets it up, she can put her cookies on the top tray, and the bottom tray can hold the cupcakes, and she thinks
Yeah.
it was on purpose.
Yeah, well, sometimes I feel like that, Sid, a drip under pressure. Not often, but occasionally.
What's that?
Well, good night, Sid. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you later, Sid. Good to chat with you today.
See you, Sid.
Ah, that'll probably make the papers over there, Joy, will it?
What?
Joy's put in, oh my God, drama. Some idiots tried to steal a cake and a 3 litre of Coke from the store. I take it she's talking about a local little milk bar or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. I would have thought that you wouldn't have been, wouldn't have had any riots or anything in where you are. Oh, that reminds me, Bob, your Detroit actually made the news down here last night.
Yeah, the paid people, protesters,
Yeah,
$25
Yeah.
a piece, 50.
and the plot to get rid of the governor.
Yeah. Right.
Just be careful, Joe, or you're going to do it again.
I think I already have.
Yeah, it's time to quit.
No.
Yes or no?
No.
No.
Cut it off
You
and
know-
throw the vase.
You know, it would have just been easier to run a drill down the middle of it, don't you?
I wanted to try it with my tools.
Yeah, all right. No, that's fair enough.
Yeah, new toy.
That's a good enough reason to try it. Oh, yeah. I don't know why they're so hell-bent on trying to destroy history. It doesn't change anything. If anything, they should be learning from it.
You trying to be funny or what?
I always leave the best advice until last, Soren. You know that.
You learn by your mistakes.
That's right.
He blew one already, so hoping he doesn't do it again.
Yeah, you've been watching too much Mike Oldfield, Jay. Tubular Bells.
Yeah.
This is his miniature collection.
Yeah, that's it. Charge twice the amount for a quarter of the size. What?
No, in 20 years' time, people say, oh, yeah, when they see these, oh, yes, this was his miniature period.
Yep. Well, I just hope in 20 years or 50 years when he's our age that the wood lathe is still around so you can use your hand and your talents. You just don't put a block of wood in the machine and push a button like you can today.
All right. Good night,
Or
Joy.
just 3D print something.
Yeah. Good night, Joy.
See you, Joy. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, no, I think hand things, there'll always be people around that use their hands, I think.
I mean, I didn't bust through, but I just got a couple of splits in the sides. So, you suppose you could class that as a bust out, though?
No, it's
Well,
vibration.
why don't you coat it in super glue before you do anything else to it?
All right, I'll do that if I can unstick the super glue from my bench.
Hmm.
I'll just get a fresh tube; it'll be easier.
Oh, you're not as bad as a friend of mine. I got a frantic phone call at 11:30 one night. Robbo, I'm in trouble. Oh yeah, what's the problem? What dissolves super glue? I said acetone. Why? I said, oh, that helps. He said, well, he said at the moment my fingers are stuck to the phone and the phone is stuck to the side of my head.
Oh,
It took me 10 minutes to answer him because I was laughing so much. And I said, well, you're going to have to wait until, because his wife used to work night shifts. I said, unfortunately, you're going to have to wait for you to get home. And the next minute, there's a whole line of expletives. And I said, what's wrong now? He said, I've just stuck my other bloody hand to the other side of my face.
Fucking whacker.
oh, what a blowout that was.
I said, well, you're going to have to wait until your missus gets home to take you down to the hospital. I said, because it's going to have to be surgically taken apart.
As soon as she's done laughing. And the people
No.
in admitting,
No, I'm sorry, I won't say who it was, but oh man, I tell you, I nearly fell over. So in the end, I said, look, I said, I know you can't hang up, but I'll hang up. And then I couldn't hang up on my normal phone, so I had to get on the mobile. And I rang 000 and got him to go around to where he was, send an ambulance around for him.
What a pelican.
Oh, no. Well, what happened was he was doing a coating on the outside of a vase, actually, or a bowl, using CA as the coating. And he had open tubes, not tubes, but bottles of CA. And he knocked it over. And he went to wipe it up. And, of course, you just automatically touch things when you're wiping it over, you know. And he went to move his phone. And, of course, that stuck to his fingers instantly. And it took him about 4 hours in hospital to get it all, to get his hands free, for starters.
I'll tell you what.
He lost a bit of skin in the process too.
Out of all the times that Amber stuck herself together, I think she feels really better about herself now. She's never done that. Funny.
That's the funniest I've heard. I think the worst I've heard is, and I stopped buying the little tubes because of this. Years ago, I had some and I dropped the tube on the floor, but I couldn't see it.
And you
I
stood on it.
backwards on it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And I stuck my shoe to the floor.
You didn't have a good teacher. My boss, if we had 2 rules in our place, like where I was doing an apprenticeship. If something was falling, you let it fall to the ground. You don't try and stop it, because it might be an engine block or something heavy like that, right? And you're likely to lose fingers over the job. Then, unless you had to jump to get out of the way, you always stood dead still and watched where it fell, so you could keep an eye on where it went. Because invariably it was something small, like a bloody spring or a valve or something, a valve out of a carburetor or something like that. So, but no, now I freeze as soon as I drop anything, unless it's going to hit my foot, and I just wait, and then I start looking around. But I knew exactly what you were going to do, stand back onto it. Yeah.
And then the acetone dissolved the sole of the shoe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because it was a
question,
foam.
right?
Sorry, what was that, Jay?
I've got a question for anyone that wants to answer. I just had super glue on this rag, and did I get too much friction on it because it started smoking? I was just holding it like this, and it was just smoke, little wafts of vapor coming through it.
Yeah, that's right. There'll be moisture on the cloth, and it's setting off the super glue. It's a chemical reaction between moisture and the CA. And it's actually, and you've probably noticed that it's really acrid fumes coming off it too.
Yeah.
Gets right up your nostrils and clears out the sinuses no end.
Was that one of those moments where you don't ask how it happened, but you know?
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah.
It's like little kids writing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It was this that I used, and I'm like, well, it kind of is from a little kid, so I was going to rub off all my pencil.
No, I can't read it, Joe. It's too close. No, the camera's out of focus.
Oh, mate, your mind up? Bloody hell.
No, well, the camera slipped out of focus about 20 minutes ago, so.
Oh, don't anyone say anything, eh?
Here are some treats for you.
You're not seeing it now? My earworms
No,
aren't doing their job.
Not clearly.
No, my earworms aren't doing their job.
No, bloody fire 'em.
The camera is still out now.
I could demote them.
Well, you could.
You know what that means, though, don't you?
Yeah. No, he's just resetting it so that
Yeah.
hopefully the camera will come back clear. Yeah, that looks a bit That looks a bit
Yep.
better. Now give me a look, Jay.
Read it. Read it, Jay. No, I'm not going to read it. Why would I do that?
You prove you can read.
Oh, I'll take that one in a sec. Hang on.
No, because they add one again.
Can you see that?
Yeah, well, yeah, if you stop waving it around. Yeah, we can read the top bit now. Uh-huh, right.
Yeah.
Greasing Santa.
Yeah. We'll just put some oil on this so that if he treads on it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the miserable old bugger doesn't know where to find us.
Do you know what though?
Well, he won't have. Does Santa live at the North Pole or South Pole?
North Pole.
So he's got a long trip. I thought he might
Yeah.
have something closer to home.
No, got no depots down this way.
Would it be fair to say though, right? Yeah, as a parent, you work and slave all year round to get your children some nice presents, and then some fat old bastard in a red suit gets to claim all the credit.
No. Actually, we had. Yeah, it's gone fuzzy again, Jay.
Yeah, that's right.
We had this problem in our street, actually. We're in a private street, and there were 14 houses with kids in it, and some kids would get some of them were very well off. We weren't, but a lot of the households there were very well off. And the kids would come out and they'd have a new bike that Santa had bought or something like that. And of course, our kids used to think, oh, well, he's a miserable old shit. Why'd we get what we got? So all the parents had a meeting one year and decided that there would be no present over $10 from Santa Claus. And it worked exceptionally well for 5 years that I was there for. And all the kids were all equal. Expensive parents were given expensive presents were given by their parents.
Yeah, one of the things in a couple of neighborhoods, particularly when I was living in Alaska and northern Idaho, smaller communities that depended on each other. Like our closest police was half-hour drive with a siren. And we would chip in, and we had some people that had kids that didn't have the money. So I remember every year we'd go around and pick up funds to make sure that the kids got something equal of value to the families that couldn't afford anything.
Yeah, we had much the same system. Like there was a family out the street that had 5 kids, and they were a bit stiff. The father was in a bad car accident and ended up in a wheelchair, and of course couldn't work. And the way our government works with compensation claims and everything like that,
Look at my mum.
they virtually had nothing, you know, which was rather sad. But the community chipped in and helped them along until they got sort of back on their feet again.
Well, that's what makes a community.
Exactly.
That's what makes a society. And the societies is what make a culture. And we've got too far away from that.
We have.
Community. The community is me. I live on a cul-de-sac, and we have maybe a dozen homes. And I know everyone who lives here.
Yep.
You know, and we can sit and talk, and we celebrate holidays together, and before COVID, would have a big street barbecue every summer. And then the kids, and even me, because I don't mind a little work, I need the exercise to keep limber. I would shovel the lawn or shovel the grass and snow and cut grass for the neighbors and shovel snow for them in the winter. Because they were, well, one was older than me by like 5, 8 years, but was having serious problems. And the other one had kidney failure and was told he couldn't get out and walk much and he couldn't do this or that. So we cut their grass. That's what neighbors are all about.
You know,
I was brought up.
because of COVID, my lawn mowing bloke couldn't get down. So the next door neighbour was mowing his lawn the other day. So he just came round and mowed it. Now you've got to bear in mind it takes 3.5 hours to mow our lawn. It's that big. And Soren knows. And I said, oh, how much do I owe you? And he said, no, mate. He said, I know the problem. He said,
You better get in bed.
he said,
2 in the morning.
you helped me out during the year, so we'll let it go.
Yeah, that's good.
Turn the kitchen light up.
You'd have to get out there with a industrial lawnmower type dragging behind your forklift, otherwise.
Oh, look, I reckon we could have fed a herd of cows for a week the way it was. we could get about 10 bales off it.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah, you've just made. You've just upset the camera again, Mike. Jay.
Yeah, whatever. Camera's starting to
He's
upset
got
me.
either bandwidth problems or CPU problems. Too many things running in the background.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's shitty computer problems. Just it's only a like cost me like $60 or something from the auctions, this computer. So, and all I've done is bought Windows 10 and loaded it on. Most probably not the best. Right.
All right. Well, it's about time I went back to work again anyway.
Yeah, me too. You get to bed 11:30 here.
I've finished my Monopoly pieces.
Yeah, they look like Monopoly markers.
Yeah.
Catch you tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks again, Dr.
Yep. If you're going to be at the conference call tomorrow or the video call at all tomorrow, that'd be too late for you. From
Which
England.
one? Which one's that?
DAWG.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm up early because I'm actually near. We got an English one tomorrow.
Who are you doing it for?
Steve, SK
Oh.
Crafts.
Then I'll listen to you on that because I catch him every morning when I get up.
Oh yeah, it's the one that's on tonight or tomorrow night for him. So, all right,
Okay.
see you all later, bye.
Yep.
See you,
See
Sid.
you later. All right, I'm going to then. Bugger off. Bye. All right, thanks for coming in. Don't forget the like button.